Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on our show, Disclosures. And we are here with Peter the Insider, and we're going to talk about some of the latest updates of what's happening and the certain things that are happening around the world, and also some of the things that are being planned for us in the future. So we need to be aware of it and be open-minded to listen. You know, sometimes the information helps us to direct or redirect our intentions, but also maybe we'll get a little sneak peek into Peter's experiences and his kind of long stay over in Japan. So without further delay, Peter, hi, how are you?
Well, hello to you, Jessica, and you know, this is getting even more and more weird here. This is crazy, jeez. Because, you know, I am here with my wife, you know, and there are two groups of people, and actually it was kind of complicated for us to understand that first group are people, quote unquote, mankind, and the second group only looks like people, but they are not. They are life-sized one-on-one androids, and that means robots. Can we call them robots? Yeah, so they don't, how can I say it? They move absolutely smoothly. They are speaking smoothly whatsoever. The material looks 100 and feels 100% like a skin, and I'm like, what in the world is that crap about? Jeez. Depending, just by the way, according to Statista, this internet portal, 60 to in between 60 to 80% of marriages, like till the age of 25, maybe 27, 28, according to the region, or let's say depends on the region, 60 to 80% is like one partner is man slash woman, and the second one is Android. And I was like, what? No, I heard that. Do you know what I mean? It is like 20, maybe 30% or so. Nope. And I was like, okay. Jesus Christ, this is bad. And I talked with young people, and do you know what they said to me? They are working so hard that they don't have energy and time to waste with arguments. And I was like, what? But if I am somehow, do you know what I mean? Aspects, I've got certain aspects of my temperament and whatsoever. It's normal that I need some feedback, because I am not perfect, you are not perfect, nobody's perfect. And I'm like, if I will say something or ask for something and there will be nothing, then yes or do or whatsoever. It doesn't make sense. What the heck is wrong with those people?
So
I don't know.
we were talking about how that people wanted to partner with an Android because they don't get any arguments, disagreements. They're
Yeah.
always positive. So because their work ethic is very strong, they work very, very hard. At the end of the day, as you said, they want someone that they can just talk to, and it's always 100% going to be pleasant because they're androids.
Yeah.
And they only want to
Or
hear.
let's say, do you know what? In between 70 and 80%, I don't want to say pleasant, but normal conversation, high intelligent conversation, also, and so on and so on, but no arguments in matter of opinions or something like that. And I was like, what? You know, this doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It sounds very narcissistic. I mean, people could say what they want, but it's compromising the whole world by having partners or people that are integrating into society that are or partnering with androids that are integrating society and adding a lot more of this psychic clutter of technology, also data collecting of individuals that they're interacting with, which
And
is an
that's the problem.
privacy. Yeah, that's intrusion of privacy. And even like for some of my that's psychic, you could see how that they try to get into your head, or they try to manipulate ideas in others, and you can see kind of it happening around them.
But give me a second. You will, how can I say it, get over it. And do you know what I mean? You will, right? But those people, they have smart homes. That means literally not like smart watches or smart,
Right.
what they are, smart rings. Because smartphones, we know that they got smartphones, but tablets and whatsoever. Because, for example, cars, modern cars, for example, right? They are pretty much tablets on four wheels. We know that, right? But if you
mean
go
like the Tesla vehicle?
Not only, but yes, that's the best example. Yeah.
The electric cars, you mean?
Most electric cars are like that, definitely.
Yeah.
And the stuff is like so many, because 91 or 92% of Japanese are living in huge towns. My bad, huge cities, or small towns, but small towns, it's like small town, and it's not dozens of thousands, hundreds of thousands people, and the stuff is, it looks old school, old style, like this typical architecture, but you go there, I mean inside, and you are like, what? Because it is
Really?
smart. It is smart. And you know what I mean, the ambient backlight and whatsoever, and you go, I mean, you make a step and it starts, like, for example, once it is summer, air conditioning or maybe heating, do you know what I mean, from the floor, and this is it. I mean, it ruined the culture, cheese. It ruined the culture.
Well, I mean, I could see, as kids, we were like looking at the show The Jetsons, say, for example.
Yeah.
Everything was smart. You go to sit down, and your slippers come on, and everything's like there for you. You get your drink. You don't really have to do anything. Everything's pretty much automated, and everything's intelligent and in sync with your thoughts, or a clicker like we use for the TV. And so the futuristic stuff was very appealing until we recognized that it became invasive.
Please, can I interrupt you, please?
Sure.
But we are dumb. No, I mean, not me and you, definitely, but once the smarter technology get, or technologies will get, we are more dumb, do you know, literally, because you don't need to remember anything. Do you know what I mean? The system will do it for you, and it's like, it's crap. I love always my diary. Screw that. If it is way too old school for somebody, I love my diary. You know,
you mean something that, like a pen and a piece of paper?
Yep.
I mean that kind of thing.
Yep. That kind of diary, piece of paper, but it is not piece of paper. It's you know, like A6, something like that, international format, and it's, you know, and I love to write it. And if I want, I can tear it out, you know. It has some sort of, do you know what I mean, pre-made stuff, so for easy, in order to easy make it. But you know, it's like, for example, right, it is some sort of natural connection. Once I want to read a book, nah, Kindle, do you know what I mean, like the e-book whatsoever, nah, I don't like that, because it is physical, do you know what I mean, and I really like it, not like that. And just by the way, it is very bad, it will, your eyes will get sore, you know, after reading it from the screen, just by the way. And
right,
and
it's hard after a while. Yeah.
And that's it. And those people here, it's so, jeez, they so, all, everything they want to have everything smart, electricized whatsoever, and I was like, what?
There's certain examples of that. So you stated like something that looks old-fashioned, but it had it was smart as far as like you know, technology, very advanced. It made me think of Fallout. Is that video game had that?
Oh, yep.
But it was old-fashioned looking at the same time.
But
you also see,
for example, if there will be, please, okay, it is like absolutely like total crap scenario. But if there will be nuke scenario, if we can call it that way, atomic bomb scenario. Look, any solid state electronic, everything, and then more modern, bam, dead. It will end up dead, except one thing. Tube radios. Of course, if those tube radios will be not physically destroyed, do you know what I mean? Only tubes will survive. Yeah, it is primitive. It is. I mean, they are primitive. Tubes are primitive. But just by the way, if younger people are hearing us, and if they have parents, maybe grandparents, try to ask for tube radios if you have somewhere. The sound is like a soft and rich. You will not hear that in digital stuff, any digital stuff. Just by the way, and that was the, how can I say it, the magic. That was the reason why it was so popular. Like 100 years, 1 century back, 100 years ago, there was nothing. Tube, radios, and bam, bye-bye, nothing. I mean, yes, of course, there were, you know, newspapers and something like that, but radio, and that was it. And just by the way, talking about, if we are talking about reading a book or hearing, I don't know, certain story in radio, imagination. You need to imagine the stuff. You need to imagine, close your eyes. Of course, once you are reading a book, you can't close your eyes, but close your eyes and hear what they are saying in radio. That's it, because 80% of information we are getting from our sight, from our eyes. And this is it. Why in the world we are killing it? We are killing our imagination, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like what is?
Well, that because then
what
we're
is
more.
it, what are making us as people? Am I right?
Right, but then they can control us more because the more mindless we are, the more they can control us. But one thing I want to bring up, because you brought up vehicles being kind of like electric vehicles being like a big computer.
Computers, tablets, whatsoever. Yep.
Or a tablet. And what they're doing with the vehicles now is they're removing AM radio from the cars in the future. They don't make AM access anymore. AM was what they would use in the event of an emergency.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You are right.
So why are they doing that?
Hey, look, because of that.
They don't want us connected at all. They don't want people talking.
Exactly.
There's another thing too, Peter. I went back. I think it was.
Give me a second, please. Give me a second, because FM, yeah, it has much better quality. Period. No room for discussion. But what? In good quality, you can get what? 100 miles, 120 miles. That means 150, 200 kilometers, and then bye. AM, aka broadcast band, it's like 100, 1500 to 1500, 2000 miles, and you can hear it. I don't want to say it's good. I don't want to say it's good, but you can hear it.
You can hear it, and it also can go globally because it bounces. The radio waves bounce around the planet.
But it will be not AM. It will be shortwave. It's different. Yeah, they are closing all the shortwave frequencies, and what I get, like 2040, they will ban all the shortwaves. Just by the way, they want to do it.
And who is these are those that want to control everything?
Yep. They want to make geez, but I like this word. They want to they are planning to start jammers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like signal jammers for most of the shortwave. Just by the way, shortwave is like from 1.7 to megahertz to 30 megahertz. There are plans. I mean, it is not official, right? But what I know, 2040 and plus, there are plans for jammers all over the spectrum, shortwave spectrum. They want to do it
because they want to control this. Yep. Well, by 2040, everyone's enslaved. If that's where it's supposed to be going, I don't want it to go there. Because that's what we're talking about it now.
They are planning 2030. It is step by step. 2035, all around the world, they start to stop producing and selling gasoline cars. You know what I mean? Or
yeah, they've already started that. I think in California,
and
they won't allow gas cars over there at all.
Yeah, and in European Union too. Just by the way.
Is there a possibility there's another timeline that we don't have to go through this? Because this sounds like a lot of bullshit. Sorry.
No. It's you are right. No, it is. You are right. You don't need to watch your language because it's true. Yep. uh,
Um,
stuff.
I just want to tell you that I recently watched an old movie from 1996 called Demolition Man. And in Demolition Man, they actually they put a criminal and they also put a police officer who was very, very good at being a police officer, but they put them both, both of them were in trouble because, you know, if you're too good as a police officer, they want to kind of teach you a lesson. So they put the both of them into the future through cryo. So they froze them for, you know, so many years and until like, I think it was around 2040 or something like that. And literally
But
you can't even swear, Peter. You can't swear. You get a ticket. They take money out of your system. They give you a fine for like saying anything that's contrary or negative, kind of like what those androids that you were talking about with those androids. And
I'm kidding you. Hey, I am not kidding you. Did I ever lie to you? No. And
no, and
give me a second. This is it.
an old movie.
What I'm saying. It is step by step. Gas cars first, then shortwave jamming second. 5 years and on and on. Do you know what I mean? But we can be happy that in new context of existence we will avoid that. Just by the way.
But those that don't do the right thing or whatever will end up having to deal with that fate, right?
Give me a second.
That will still play out for some people.
Give me
right?
a second. Give me a second. People, they will, quotes in quotes, not fit in the system. They will stay here. That's the problem. And I will say you who are they. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
I will tell you. They are the elites right now.
So the elites will get to suffer from what they had done.
Jesus, of course, you
yeah.
are right. Yeah, you are right.
So this is the movie that I was talking about. It's called Demolition Man. And actually it's 1993. Sorry, I said 1996.
Nah, it doesn't make sense. Like Disney.
And it was really weird. Is something, I don't know if something happened to Wesley Snipes. I forget what the history is, but you know, they have
it doesn't matter if we are talking about 1, 2, or 3 years plus minus. No.
Yeah, so that was an interesting, very eye-opening. It was almost like they used this movie to model some of their plans of what they're doing in the future.
Yep. You are right. Isn't this crazy?
Yeah, it is. So, you know, we're talking about what they're doing with shortwave. We're talking about how they want to control everything. I think,
because
you know,
give me a
lot
second. Let me tell you something. So many people are talking, and I'm not saying it is good or bad, but they are talking crazy bad about China and, for example, social credit system and whatsoever. But why in the world nobody is talking about how crazy bad is in Japan? You know, like people, there is zero criminality, zero, right? But there is Yakuza, geez, and you can even look at them badly because you are dead man. I mean, a Yakuza, you know.
So are the Yakuza somehow rolled into this? Or are they like they're like unspoken police, or
yeah, they are.
Or they could control them?
I like them. I like them because they are stylish, and they are not just killing the people randomly or something like that. They know how to do stuff. It is literally like, you know, good old-fashioned mafia in Italy and whatsoever, like Godfather or something like that, you know, like.
Yeah, that's their version.
Yep, something like that, yeah.
In the movie The Demolition Man, they have people that live underground that refuse to comply to the system. And so they just continue living their life. And they eliminate all the same things. They eliminate, you can't have any meat. You're not allowed to have any type of sexual activity. You are not supposed to, no alcohol, no, I don't think caffeine or, there's nothing that is, brings in any kind of happiness, pleasure, or addictions. I don't think there's any alcohol. I don't think there are any drugs. And you're limited on what you could say, and you always have to say like positive things. But the guy that was behind it wanted to bring in this criminal to be able to kill those that were disagreeing with him. So it was almost like it was hypocritical for sure.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Very similar to what we're seeing here. Yeah, and they end up killing him. But, you know, I'll let people watch. It's worth watching the movie. If you watched it years ago, watch it again. You'll see a lot of the social credit system and some of the ideas and the dynamics, because even if you have a society like that, that is everyone's complying, there's always going to be a rebel group that doesn't, or they have permission. Makes it look like they can't control them, but they have permission and serve another purpose. Like that's what it sounds like with the Yakuza.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, do you know what I'm trying to say? That they are not doing any, how can I say it?
Right.
They are no gangs and whatsoever doing, like, for example, in India. I know it is bad example, but you need, once you are stranger, foreigner, and you are tourist, no way, no chance, especially for young, nice-looking women, to go in small group like 4, 5, 6. No, because local men, they will separate them and literally rape them pretty much to death. And nothing like that ever happened in Japan. Nothing, you know, because there will be
I've heard of that.
There will be short stuff for such guys, if they will dare to do so. And that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? Yakuza, they want to have good image for Japan to rest of the world, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, you can do crap, but it will be last thing you do.
Well, it's like the mafia in Italy. They could have gotten rid of them a long time ago, but you know, they kind of cleaned up a little bit, made themselves look like businessmen, and like you said, they don't just go out and commit crimes just to commit crimes. It's almost like it's a different relationship they have with the government. You know, that sort of
because
thing.
for in Japan, it is like almost honorability. It is like, you know, like certain part of society. Do you know what I mean? And that's the stuff. As you said, they are businessmen and whatsoever, you know. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, like you said, they have style. They usually dress nice.
Yeah.
Nice vehicles, that kind of thing. And they are able to do things that the average person can't do without getting in trouble.
For example, if you are doing faux pas, like very bad thing, not because you want so willingly, but if you don't know customs, you know, in Japan, and if you simply do something wrong, not because, once again, not because you want, but you don't know how to do, and if you go to Yakuza, you know, they are not making some sort of crazy stuff from that, as in, and I don't know, you go to office, for example, bank office, right? And I saw it. He was young, was like 22, 23, maybe 25. It looks like, and according to accent, from Scandinavia, and he do something crazy. he do something crazy because there are certain stuff you cannot you simply cannot do. A business card, for example, you need to, there are special way how to take business card. No, I'm not kidding you, okay? I'm not. And oh my god, he gets so angry. This bank office, head of bank office, he got so angry, and those guys not, because once they know you for a longer time and you did something like that, yeah, they know that you are provoking them. But once they know that, oh my god, they are shaking because those people are first time in Japan, they are not making any trouble from that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like,
yeah, if you don't understand what's going on culturally,
yeah. So it is kind of weird that like they are more benevolent in certain areas of behaving, because they are like, jeez, we are all the people. Do you know what I mean? Because
right.
more of locals are very afraid of them. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, and I mean, you might look like they try to create scenarios where like, oh, look at, we took on the mafia, or we took on and it's like
they are not.
They didn't really, they put a dent in a situation, but there's many others that we don't see. And the same, like there was also a show called Peaky Blinders where you see the I think it's the I don't know if they were sort of like gypsies or something like that, but they have power, and the government approached them for help. And in that storyline, I don't know, I don't live in England, I don't know how valid some of that information is, but I'm sure that they have this representative of an underground that kind of does the work that the government can't do. And I know people can say, well,
you are right.
Three-letter organizations do that, but no, it's a different caliber of things that can't be associated with anything like that. But anyhow, I mean, a lot of nations have that, and they have that in probably in Russia and the Eastern world, and in China they have it as well.
Yeah, you are right.
And they're usually very talented. How can I say, very talented at fighting, killing, or very quiet and very groomed, like special forces almost, some of them.
Oh right? Yeah, you are right. And just by the way, talking about that, we can, or we should start to talk about what will be in another reality. So pretty much context of existence we are heading to. What do you think, huh?
Yeah, so we might as well, tell something else that's happening like we have in the past, and people didn't believe it, but it happened. So bring that up.
Yeah,
again,
right.
I mean, I understand why people don't believe things right away. But we've had since 2017, we've been providing information that has come to pass. And I don't know if it's ego or whatever. People have a hard time, acknowledging that we're the ones that brought it in.
But sorry for that, but I don't know why people are so skeptic about negative stuff. I mean, should I stop to talk once it is negative, or geez, or what?
I think that nobody wants to hear anything negative. Remember, we'll go back to the scenario of someone wanting to partner with an android that just says yes all the time, or sounds like, like the newscasters just talk and they look like robots and they're just reading off of a screen and they have no emotion.
Yeah, you are right.
So they want more of that. They don't want anyone that's going to be what they perceive as being contrary, but it has absolutely nothing. This is nothing personal against anyone, but it's the fact of If we do not deal with the truth, we will not know what we're fighting against, and we will not know how to understand what the process is of what's happening. And then we're not going in blindly. If we feel like it's popular to go with another narrative that's never going to happen, that people keep waiting for, it feels more comfortable because you feel like you're in the group and you're with a large collection of individuals, and that's fine. If you feel comfortable in that place. But those that are listening here are ready to break through that, and they just want to know what's happening, and then reset the intention, the highest intention for humanity, if it is not in alignment. Remember, there's balances and counterbalances. So if we're in this place where everything is chaos, then we have to rein it back with some control systems. And I think that's where we're going, is the control systems and how far they go. And that's why we went from complete mayhem in the United States to them wanting to bring in a 15-minute city, or them wanting to bring in somewhere to manage or control what's happening. So, and that's a natural force in our paradigm or our context of existence. If you go to one extreme, there's a counterbalance that's in hermetics. If anyone understands hermetics, everything is in nature is in balance. So what is happening right now in balance to gain control from that present chaos and recklessness of, shooters going after children, or their craziness, or the abuse of money. So let's talk about what happens with the abuse of money. In order to manage that, they have a system, which is this wallet, or the social credit system, right? Or the do they call it something different in the future?
Yeah. They will call it different. They will call it different. It will be, and this is it, right? We are talking, because I was thinking I need to start like more wider, right? Like, I heard that and I'm like, what in the world is wrong with those guys? Now we are talking about citizens, right? And then people, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I finally get it. And they are saying, right? Like, personal profile card, or personal profile not system, but personal profile member card, or something like that. But they are calling it PPC, personal profile card. And of course, once you go to certain institutions, there is a personal profile record. And it's pretty much, it looks something like ID or bank card or something like that. And there are your information, like where you was born and where and when you was born. You know, all kind of that stuff. How what's your name? For women, the name after husband. But pretty much it can be vice versa. It's not that big deal there, because it's pretty common that men are getting surname after their women. Just by the way, okay? It's normal. And for example, yeah, you are getting not health insurance only, but social insurance only. So both, okay? Both.
That means that what you talk about in social media and that kind of thing?
No. I'm talking about social. That means you are working and your employer is obligated to pay certain amount of money of your wage to social system, and you will go automatically retirement money.
Like Social Security we have in the US.
Exactly, Social Security. Yeah, exactly. And then healthcare stuff. Exactly the same, but to healthcare. So pretty much, for example, not as in US that you need to pay a lot, and I mean a lot of money for pretty much normal stuff. You go into hospital and whatsoever. No, it is like 90, maybe 95% of standard stuff you go to hospital, and no extra money for you, right? Even, for example, if you have cancer, for example, what is really expensive, for example, and you will no pay, you will pay no money, nothing. It's free for you. For example, because it is edgy stuff, really edgy. Do you know what I mean? Or something like that. And so this is the first very important stuff. Second thing is people, they are way too obvious. It is way too obvious that they are rich. Of course, fine, some people can get rich. But for example, if you are regular employee, for example, if you are doing some regular stuff in office and whatsoever, and you have certain wage, and all of a sudden you are buying a house, expensive house, and for example, if you are living in, I don't know, in Europe, an S-Class Mercedes, what? How? Where in the world do you have all the money from? It doesn't make sense. You don't inherit it by any of your relatives or something like that. I mean, if this is not the case, you will have big problem with police. Or maybe not the police, but they are not, they don't have standard police, but very specified, very, narrow specified, do you know what I mean? Like units and whatsoever.
You mean like in Europe, Interpol, like Interpol?
No. I'm
Europe?
talking. Yes, technically you are right, but not Interpol, but within certain states, within certain countries, and all the stuff. It is in Europe, in US, wherever, in Russia, in China. It is everywhere is the same.
So are you saying that they'll set up a team that will go intercontinental and work with different, like be able to interact between nations to locate people that are, like, say, have excess of money but no obvious source from where it came from?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it simply doesn't make sense. Like, what in the world? You are making a certain job. You are getting official wage, official payment and whatsoever. And what? How? Where? And for example, it is a crime to pay cash on a down. I think that they've got 10,000, I think. I mean, once you are paying more than 10,000, it is a crime. Or let's say not the crime, but there should be, how can I say it? People, they will see it. Do you know what I mean? Like people from authorities, they will say, yes, okay, those money are not, do you know what I mean? Not from some sort of money fraud. They are legal, they are normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say. That's the stuff.
So, all right, a lot of laws and processes have come in under the guise of let's clean up everything. There is a lot of criminal behavior. We need to use this social credits or this system that identifies a person's legitimate wage, what they're, paying taxes on or whatever, and then this extra money. I mean, we're not just talking like $10,000 more that they might have maybe made a little bit, bartering or doing something with other people. Well, we're talking about, you know,
No, I
like
understand.
$1 million or something like that. So under the guise of, all right, we created this system to control the criminal behavior.
Yes,
How does
yes,
this
because
impact
this is
the,
it. For example, if you will, for example, okay, if you have certain savings, right? Because you say you work hard, you have savings. You, I don't know, you have old car, very old car. You sold it as a used, and you want to buy, for example, a tractor because you are farmer, for example, right? And once
yeah.
you will have, of course, tractor, for example, it will be used too. But once it is not 10, but it is 12 or 15,000, there should be authorities. They will say, okay, those are real money, those are not fake money, or do you know what I'm trying to say? And so on and so on and so on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
But, you know, similar to the laws with, you know, prohibiting guns, we know that if we all, you know, if a person has a gun, if they don't have guns anymore, all the civilians got rid of their guns and only criminals had the guns, because criminals seem to always find other loopholes
No,
because
I understand you. I understand you. I'm just saying that they will not ban to use more cash or something like that. I'm just saying that they will start to, control where in the world, how can I say that? For example, if your wage is 100K, I mean 100 grand, 100,000 euros or dollars per month, right? And you want to buy ranch or farm, for example, and so on and so on. And after 10 years of saving and so on and so on, but like, okay, but after 10 years of saving, you cannot buy, I don't know, right? 50 millions, like literally, 50 millions farm, because it is automated. It is a huge property. They are cows and whatsoever, and it is all yours. So it will cost 40 or 50 millions. No, there is no chance. If you have annually 100K, no, there is no chance. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because you can save as hard as you can, but 30, 40 or 50 millions you cannot. Do you know what I mean? Because it is
yeah, and I
crazy
mean,
expensive.
I know, we understand. I think the public generally understands this because it seems that the ones who usually end up, they create these rules and laws. The honest people usually comply and they have nothing to hide, and they, you know, divulge their personal information now. The people that are crooked, that are doing these things, have loopholes and they usually get away with it, even though it was designed to catch them. It usually falls on the burden of the average person that now has lost more privacy about what they're doing,
I Give me
or
a second.
you
I
see what I'm
understand
saying?
you. I understand you, but in that reality, pretty much I don't know if they are criminals. I don't know. What I know that there are no prisons, for example, or at least
So in
I don't know.
the new reality, there'll be no prisons.
No,
So
I mean for real.
what will they do with the people that they find this excessive amount of money that is
They are
unaccounted,
they are working they are working for free, like no money. They have no money.
no,
Yes.
the ones that have millions of dollars, even though their income is maybe a hundred
Give me a
thousand.
second. This is it what I want to say, okay? Please. Everything what they have, like all the money, I don't know, the the houses, so pretty much the real
Property,
estates, the cars, everything go to states. So it start to go to state. And why it is good to have it for state? Because state will pay for education, better education, for better health insurance and health care, and I don't know, like for roads, for tunnels, for better engineering network, whatsoever, right? And those people are not in prisons. They are working, but for free. No money, no nothing. What they will have, it is those like former criminals, what they will have is clean clothing, shoes, and how can I say, like food, and that's it. They have no money as a punishment. That's their punishment. They will do hard work. They will do hard physical work. So, for example, big tunnels or something like that. So it will be a worse punishment for them, like being in prisons, because it will be hard physical work for them for no money, only for food and drink and nothing. That's
what happens if they still don't comply?
Jessica, believe me, they are. Because they
that's
are
in this
working.
Other reality that they're
yeah, they are. Yeah.
So you understand that, like in the United States.
Give me a second, please. And they are living in some sort of, it looks like dormitories or something like that. And after several years, they start to, how can I say, to be integrated back into society.
So what about the situation like we have in all of the average citizens who've been paying taxes to the U.S., working very hard for many years, and that money just be taken away, so there's no retirement left.
And this is what I tried to say.
Sent to Zelensky. And
give me a second, please. Give me a second. This system will go worldwide. This system, what I am describing, will be worldwide.
So someone like Zelensky would end up getting in trouble for misappropriating money.
I am not saying not only him.
Oh, there's others involved, yeah, because even Biden also is involved.
I don't want to say any names. I don't want to say any names, but people, they don't. Pretty much they were doing bad stuff or stealing because they were greedy or whatsoever. Right. It is, as I said, if you are businessmen or whatsoever, you know what I mean? And just by the way, there is one thing what I really like. If you are a businessman, for example, right? And you have factories, there is obligation. It is law. Very complicated, I don't want to say law, like network of laws. You are obligated to provide to your workers acceptable conditions, working conditions. If you don't know, we know, because I am from this region, Tomáš Baťa, so Thomas Bata. You can search on the internet how this very generous man, he is very worldwide famous for creating and designing shoes, high quality shoes, and this kind of, how can I say it, how he thought, how he believed, and which kind of conditions for his workers he provided. So something like that. Tomáš Bata or Thomas Bata, he is from Czech Republic. I mean, was, because he's dead very long time, for decades. But this is the stuff, like he was some sort of inspiration how to do it. Like, okay, if you have work labor, like people doing working manually, okay, fine, you can make such a business, but definitely not to be somebody who will misuse your position and just, do you know what I mean? Like, uh, you will get rich, and you are, because you are the employer, and your employees will have tremendously bad condition and whatsoever. And state, the government, will send regular controls if you are following those rules, those laws. I'm just saying, I really like that. Just by the way, I really like that.
I think that, no, I agree. I think that employees should take care of their workers, but then they started creating laws, and I'm talking about the U.S. in particular, that would oppress the small business owner so that they couldn't make any money because of the way that they were setting up with taxes and then high payments for what they have to pay for. Insurance was extremely high to pay for their employees. So people like were closing the smaller businesses, and only the larger businesses were thriving. So here again, the ideas have been out there. I think it's a matter of they haven't been working because of the sabotaging of the way that the government has set
You know
everything
what?
up.
Yes, you are right. Yeah. So let's
So
say
if
the
it's
ideas,
more
the good
honest,
ideas,
yes.
the good ideas are there. They are out for long times, decades, maybe sometimes centuries, but they didn't succeed it because people were greedy and so on and so on and so on. And there, in that reality, it evidentially worked very well, or it is working, my bad. It is not like it worked, but I mean, it worked because we are not there, and I am not there too. And it will work for us, because it is like that. It's like
It's already working in that other reality, you say.
yes.
So like when you see these young college kids that feel like they understand everything about Marxism and everything, they've never really lived in it. They don't know whether it works or not and how it would play out because they've not been in that situation. And I think a majority of them should just go to countries where they're actually living in that scenario so they can actually experience what it feels like and understand it fully. Because if you're going to talk about things and demand certain things, you should have the knowledge to back why
And
that you
this is
believe
it.
this and
I
how
was
it works.
there.
Theory is one thing, application is another. So in this situation, Peter, yes, all of the ideas are accurate, but there's all these other it's the consciousness, but it's coming from the government in most cases where they're imposing certain things that they know will create a failure for the small businesses, and maybe because they're getting influence or paid or through the lobbies, because remember
Do
the
you know what?
corporations
I
are
think I
that
think
help.
that actually it
Uh,
is good point, and I will tell you why. Because actually, once they are suppliers and sub suppliers, I mean the small and mid range businesses to huge, like corporations, they are having smaller rates for taxes and so on. I mean, according percentage rates and so on and so on, because sometimes it is not that good to, for example, uh, there is Detroit, for example, right? And I mean, in that reality, and they are factories for cars. So it is not, let's say, like catastrophic case scenarios. And there are suppliers and sub-suppliers from all around the US, US wide, if we can say it, US wide, and they are small companies. So I don't know, in between 20, 30, maybe 50 people. I mean, including, CEO and management and so on. And it is worth it is worthing them to having those businesses, for example. And just by the way, they have also specific stuff for cargo transport, like trucks and whatsoever. So it is working, and this is it. This is not only in US. This is in Europe. This is in China.
Absolutely.
This is in China, in Russia, whatsoever. For example, we are not talking. For example, I mean, yeah, US is big, but Russia is huge. This is next level story. And as we are talking about trucks, in Russia we are talking about flying companies, right? And they are doing the same stuff, but for flying companies, but cargo only. Do you know what I mean? And this is it.
Airlines?
Airlines, yep.
Airlines,
but this is it. They are not calling them airlines, because airlines are exclusively the name, or the word, the term is for how can I say it? Passenger flying companies. Flying company, like, I don't know the name flying company, that means we know it is cargo company. And in that reality, do you know what I mean? They are making differences, so they know what we are talking about. It is good. I like that.
Yeah. So the this reality is already existing, and there's more of integrity. There's not so much corruption in the upper levels of decision making. So the leadership is not fully tainted, and
for example,
there's a level of honesty.
For example, if you are separating waste, you can have a huge dotation for car or electronics, right? Because they are making some sort of, they have QR codes or something what is similar to that, and now, okay, this is this family or that kind of, and this is it, person. They are not talking about citizens or something. This is person. That's it. I really like that. Personal identification card. I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, most people are terrified of something like that because historically, from the past, I don't know, 100 years, it seems like the honest person usually gets hit and ends up with nothing. And then, you say something wrong and then you get hit, but then there's other people that don't. So there's huge trust around this, or lack of trust. Definitely coming from me, and I'll be honest with you. And I know that you're telling us that it will not have the levels of corruption that we're concerned about, because in the social credit system, if you even think something, you say something, it's so invasive, it's so much AI that you're penalized very quickly. And so I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying. I believe that idealistic, it's the right thing to do is to watch
I will say you something. If I will be not there, I will not believe that, to be honest. Nope. Nope.
Right, you can see where I'm coming from. And the rest of the public would probably be, kind of like, oh, I don't know if I really want to give this information away. And, there's also the Christian aspect of, oh, this is the mark of the beast. Someone's going to put an implant in my hand. All of my information is going to be there. I'm sold out. They're going to control me through AI because now I have mechanical something inside of me, and my
No,
soul
this
is
is
gone.
not inside of me. They are using cards, as I said, cards.
Well,
Okay.
they don't. It's not going to evolve. It doesn't evolve into an implant or
Oh,
anything
nope,
like that.
nope.
Okay.
It is a card. It is a card. Yeah, it is a card.
Yeah, I
As
think
I
some
it
people.
is a bank
Yeah,
card or something like that.
yeah, because I think a lot of, like you said, the smart cities, the smartphones, and also people like, didn't want to carry around a car key, so they're
It looks like
implementing keys to their hand.
you can have it as a necklace or something like that, and you are fine because, for example, you are having it on the wrist, for example, right? You are having it on the wrist, and you just beep, and you are in at work or something like that. It's fine, or you are getting because do you know what is actually fine? I really like fact that in Constitution there is a how can I say that, right for cash. That means yeah, you can pay with cash, for example. You can pay with cash. Yeah.
In that reality, you can pay with
Yep.
cash still.
Yeah, there is a right in Constitution because we can say, or we should say, they are getting so derivating from German's Constitution, and they've got all kind of states all around the world, and they've got right for pay with cash, right? That's
Okay.
kind of good. At least for me, it's good.
How do
It's
they
good.
avoid someone taking someone else's identity? So say you're one of those people that got in trouble for
Oh,
misusing
I
hiding your.
understand you. I understand you, and I will say you how. It's easy. They've got biometric chip, not the new, but this card. But it is not like, for example, I've got a fingertip or something like that. But it is measuring if you are warm. I mean, if you have, do you know what I mean? Like accurate temperature, or if you have pulse. So it is not like beep, and it is, but few seconds. You need to keep it for a few seconds, and it will measure if your heart beats. And if you are dead, yes, there are ways how to collect your fingerprints, but it will not, once it will not detect it is live. Do you know what that you are live? Bam, bye bye. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The card will block itself, and it will send signal that this person is maybe ICE in case of emergency, or dead, or missing, or whatsoever. And of course, you have your relatives or your friends, if you don't have relatives, will be automatically notified on the smartphone, or maybe where whatsoever, that you are in trouble.
What about when you see those movies where they pose as someone else, and they take their eye out and they use the eyeball as an ID?
Give me a second. This will not work like that, because eyeball is eyeball, but they need to scan the whole skull, like from face. Because, for example, you cannot hold still your whole face, muscles and eyes. It shakes. You can't see it, but it shakes if you are alive. But if you are dead, it is not. Do you know what I mean? So this is it. The biometry is so, how can I say it, high leveled, and so on and so on. But once you are dead, or for example, if if somebody, for example, is working at bank and there is a bank robbery, do you know what I mean? Something like that. The level of stress, it will not make an access, one-time access to the treasure. Do you know what I mean? To the vault. No. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. I'm just saying.
So you don't have anybody that is breaking through the system.
Yep, exactly. Because
and that reality is similar to this reality, as far as, are they like twins of us, or
Yes, they are. But what I really like, for example, they have cars. They look pretty much similar, for example, than ours, but they are not electric. They are hydrogen, and what they are getting out of their pipes is pure, literally like oxygen, right?
So water, right?
Something like that, yep.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's a mist or
mist. Yeah, I don't want to say mist whatsoever. Yeah, you are right. Yeah. So
this whole thing with the environment and destroying the environment, which is, we know, it's garbage, because
actually I really like fun fact, that they are making parks. I mean, like trees, grass, and whatsoever. You know what I mean? And because First and Second World War and whatsoever was played very differently, many historical, sea sighting whatsoever sites in all around the world are not destroyed, just by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there are some nations that seem to not have to make any changes, and they're causing, have most of the pollution. And then the other nations that are already working on it are getting hit the hardest. So here, but like, they want everyone to have an electric car, but they don't have an infrastructure for it, which is idiotic. That's probably the least insultive way to say it. And I think,
hey, stop. You are right. What's the problem? Right. You are right.
So this whole thing, which we know that they're telling us to not do certain things, which I think are probably more harmful, or getting rid of. I think they wanted to get rid of farmland in the Netherlands so that they could build more houses.
I don't understand that, to be honest.
Because it's clear to me that it's not about helping the environment, but to oppress the people.
You are right.
Right.
Jeez, of course you are right.
Those that are, under that guise, I mean, it's a big game of destroying the earth even further. So yeah, I mean, it sounds a little refreshing. I always thought we were supposed to go into hydrogen vehicles. I always thought the electric concept really didn't logically make any sense. There's also the whole idea of those hovercrafts, those magnetic types of hovercrafts, where the road's magnetic and it doesn't really take a whole lot just to sync them up with the roads. Of course, it would be difficult off-road, but I recently saw this video where this kid that had paid for an electric vehicle, how that you could rent them on the street, and when the vehicle got to the point where the payment was over, the kid actually, the vehicle stopped immediately while he was driving it, and then he flipped out and it looked like he almost broke his neck there. So it's like, what's going to happen with these electric vehicles, and they have access to them, and all they stop short.
Give me a second, please. I need to say, there are no electric cars, period.
All right. So the other question is then, is Tesla there, or is
Give me a
not
second.
Tesla, Elon
Okay,
Musk there?
that was my answer. No electric cars, period.
Okay, so that answers an absence
That
of somebody.
answers a lot. Okay, that answers a lot.
Okay. So,
I mean, we can go on and on and on and on if you want, but I think that will be pretty much it for today, because I think we will go. We can make certain paths. We can make a series of it. What do you think?
yeah, let's learn more about what's going on over there and how it works for them, and whether it's, well, like you said, it is our future, so we should know about where we're headed. So that's very interesting, Peter, and thank you for sharing. And I don't mean to be, I guess I'm playing the devil's advocate, because there are many people that will have these questions that I brought up and more.
It's normal. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So thank you for sharing your information. We appreciate your time, Peter.
No, okay. So I want to say thank you very much again for giving me another opportunity to be on your channel. I want to thank all of our regular and maybe not so regular listeners for their patience, and see and hear you next time. Hold tight and bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, Peter. And thank you for listening, everyone. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your comments, and share your ideas and thoughts, and even some questions for Peter regarding these topics for the next time we have this discussion. Stay well, stay strong, and keep your mind open to new opportunities and new things that are coming into our future. Have a good day.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All the links can be found in the description. Thank you.